Twitter. Can we talk about fucking Twitter, dude? Elon Musk today proposed closing the Twitter deal on the original terms. Elon Musk is throwing in the towel. By the way, immediately after announcing this, Twitter stock skyrocketed, all according to plan. And of course, obviously, this is 9D, 24D chess by Elon Musk, who brilliantly figured out that if he offers in writing and signs a deal to buy Twitter for $54.20 a share, then tries to back out after signing, then hires expensive legal teams to spend months fighting Twitter over that, then realizes that he won't win the court case, so he backs out after spending that money and agrees to spend the full exact amount that Twitter asked for, is 21D chess. It's been 174 days since this saga began, and I want to catch you guys up. So the first thing he was up to was hacking my YouTube account. So that's one. The second thing, and the more interesting thing that I want to cover today, are Elon Musk's texts, which all got leaked as part of discovery for this court case. And they are funny. It's crazy seeing how billionaires text each other. Super rich people are as fucking dumb as us, if not dumber. That's the one thing I'll say. Jack Dorsey, who was the CEO of Twitter before, is sort of getting pushed out of the company Twitter. Do you know why he's getting pushed out of the company Twitter? The reason is he's the worst CEO fucking ever. He's absentee. He doesn't show up to meetings. Jack Dorsey was trying to be CEO of Twitter and Square at the same time. And 98% of his wealth was tied up in Square stock. So surprise, surprise, he didn't give a shit about Twitter, dude. More and more stuff is coming out about how he would show up to meetings, say nothing, be on his phone the entire time, and then leave. He was doing conference calls with Wall Street, and every question he got asked, he was deferring to someone else because he didn't know. Jack Dorsey was living the life, dude. He was hanging out with Jay-Z and he bought Tidal. He was not doing anything related to Twitter. So he gets sort of forced out of the company. He replaces himself with CEO Parag, who's an engineer at Twitter who really likes cryptocurrency. And he becomes the new CEO. And then Jack Dorsey texts Elon Musk and says, Twitter was a mistake, basically. It shouldn't have been a company. That was the original sin. And this sort of plants the seed in Musk's mind of how he can turn it all around. Jack Dorsey basically nudges Elon Musk to get more involved with Twitter and thinks it could be the way that solves all of its problems. And there's many problems. And again, Jack Dorsey still owns some stock in Twitter and like it to do better. So then Elon Musk makes his move after this. Elon Musk says he buys 9.2% of Twitter, becomes its largest individual shareholder. And the new CEO, this guy right here, looking cute with his family, messages him and says, hey, I'm super excited that you're going to be a major shareholder. Sounds great. And their friendship seems fine right now. Elon Musk right now is only trying to be a part of Twitter, not the whole owner. He wants to talk to the CEO and get his ideas across. Then Joe Rogan weighs in, okay? Joe Rogan hears that Elon Musk is now a large shareholder in Twitter and texts Elon Musk and says, are you going to liberate Twitter from the censorship-happy mob? He also says, if you do end up buying Twitter, I'll throw you a fucking party, dude. Legendary. So now Elon Musk has incentive. He wants to have a party with Joe Rogan. Then Elon Musk's ex-wife comes into the picture and texts him a lot of things, but basically, can you buy Twitter and then delete it, please? America's going insane. So now Elon Musk, who has married and divorced this woman twice, is even more incentivized, okay? And right about this time, by the way, is when Elon Musk starts publicly talking about his commitment to free speech. Then he starts talking with the CEO and they bond. Musk says, I interface way better with engineers who are able to do hardcore programming than with program manager or MBA types of people. And then Agrawal says, in our next convo, treat me like an engineer instead of the CEO of Twitter, and let's see where we get to. Then Elon Musk starts tweeting a lot of things that are critical of Twitter. And this is when, before he's purchased it or done it, is after the 9% before anything else. And one of the main things he tweets was, most of these top accounts tweet rarely and post very little content. Is Twitter dying? This makes Parag go from happy to sad. And he says, you're free to tweet, is Twitter dying, or anything else about Twitter. But it's my responsibility to tell you that it's not helping me make Twitter better in our current context. Next time we speak, I'd like you to provide your perspective on the level of internal distraction right now and how it's hurting our ability to do work. I hope the AMA will help people get to know you, to understand why you believe in Twitter, and to trust you. I'd like the company to get to a place where we're more resilient and don't get distracted, but we aren't there right now. Elon Musk flips out. What did you get done this week? I'm not joining the board. This is a waste of time. I'm going to make an offer to take Twitter private. This text conversation kicks off Elon Musk deciding to spend $42 billion to buy Twitter. This is the one he texts to Brett Taylor. Fixing Twitter by chatting with Parag won't work. Drastic action is needed. This is minutes after this, by this is minutes after this conversation. This is hard to do as a public company, as purging fake users will make the numbers look terrible. So we should do the whole thing as a private company. This text is direct smoking gun evidence that he's aware that there are some fake users. In fact, he thinks there's a lot. Now, this is not, he doesn't have any hard numbers yet, but he thinks there's a lot. It'll make the numbers look terrible. This is going to contradict a lot of what he says later. Then, after that, he signs a deal. Now, I found the actual legal document that he signed. He says, I'm offering to buy 100% of Twitter for $54.20 per share in cash, which is 54% more than it was worth the day he began investing. This is basically $42 billion. It's a lot of money. Looking into it, it turns out that Musk's offer of $54.20 per share was not based on any detailed financial modeling. His offers to buy companies are generally pretty whimsical, and $4.20 is a weed joke. The board could not turn it down because it was too much money for what Twitter's worth. So Twitter accepts it immediately. They signed the deal. Musk also didn't ask Twitter for any information to verify the number of false or spam accounts before he agreed to the deal. And he forewent all due diligence. He waived all rights to due diligence legally in writing. Almost immediately, Tesla stock goes down and the entire market starts to dip. And Elon Musk gets cold feet, which is at which point he starts bringing up all these stuff about bots. He starts tweeting poop emojis at the CEO. Twitter, knowing they have the legal right of way, knowing that they're pretty much locked in, and knowing that the numbers they've disclosed, they believe to be accurate. And again, there's been no proof to the otherwise and through the all legal proceedings. They go to court. And so the court date is set for October 17th of this month in the Delaware Chancery Court, a no-nonsense court for businesses only that has a history of forcing rogue CEOs to close on deals like this. Usually not this big. So after the announcement that he's going to buy it, more texts start coming in. And these are the ones I call the funny texts, because once the deal is signed, a bunch of like parasites, dick riders start coming out of the woodwork to text Elon Musk. The CEO of Riot Games sees the news, texts Elon a link to the news and says, "You're the hero Gotham needs. Hell effing yes. The ultimate bat chest." But most importantly was this guy, Jason Calacanis. Now, if you don't know who he is, I don't blame you. So this guy is the world's biggest Elon Musk fanboy. By the way, he's a very rich man. He doesn't need to be slobbing Elon's knob, but he does. First thing he does right after the announcement is made is he texts Elon, "You should raise your offer. 54.21, the perfect counter. Haha. The kingdom would like a word. Ha ha ha." By the way, this is all unanswered. He continues, "Day 0, sharpen your blades, boys. Premium features abound, and Twitter Blue has exactly 0. What committee came up with this dog shit features in Twitter Blue? It's worth paying to turn it off." This is the first response that Elon Musk gives. He says, "Yeah, what an insane piece of shit." So again, this is like fucking 15 unanswered texts. And then finally, Elon Musk agrees that Twitter Blue sucks ass. Jason Calacanis likes that he gets a response about Twitter Blue sucking. So he continues. We could give video creators 100% of their ad revenue. 5 teams: North Star Metrics, Legacy Ops, Membership Team, Payments Team, Creator Team, Transparency Team. He's writing paragraphs on how he's going to fix Twitter. Again, the deal hasn't even gone through yet, and Elon Musk is not responding. 12,000 people working on whatever they want. No projects being canceled. Let's move the HQ to Austin. Rent Gigafactory excess space. He's talking about moving Twitter to Austin, Texas, and having them work out of a Tesla Gigafactory. Elon Musk responds, and this is a big mistake on Elon's part. He says, "You want to be a strategic advisor if this works out?" Jason jumps at the fucking chance. 100%. Board member, advisor, whatever. You have my sword. Then he says, "Put me in the game, coach," and jumps the gun. Twitter's CEO is my dream job. Bro, he offered you advisor. Maybe. After fucking 14 million unanswered texts. Do not jump to saying you want to be the fucking CEO. Now, there's one more text that unfortunately I couldn't get a screenshot of. I didn't get included. But he says, the main thing we should do is get Justin Bieber, spelled beaver, like the animal, to get back on Twitter. I'm sorry I don't have the screenshot, but he says Justin Bieber needs to get back on Twitter. That's his second idea. This tweet was great. I would self-exile from human civilization if I was in Jason Calacanis' position. Those texts to Elon Musk are humiliating. It would have been less degrading if his porn search history got released. After all of this happened, Jason Calacanis starts going around Silicon Valley and trying to raise money to help Elon buy Twitter without his permission or knowledge, which is a bad look. Elon Musk texts him and says, Morgan Stanley and Jared thinks you are using our friendship not in a good way. This makes it seem like I'm desperate. Please stop. Jason Calacanis is hurt. He's sad. Only ever wanted to support you. Then he responds and says, again, I had to cut this off. I don't have all the screenshots. He says, I would jump on a grande for you, Elon. And I couldn't figure out what he meant. Jump on a grande for you? Is it like a fucking coffee reference? I don't get it. It turns out he misspelled grenade. After a day, Elon Musk react emojis with a thumbs up. And that's the last text. So like we said, all this goes through, all this happens. Elon Musk tries to back out. It doesn't seem to be working. The judge is not having it. So Elon Musk is only getting bad news, basically. And he has two options. He can try to do this legal fight, and basically he'll probably end up having to spend $15 to $20 billion to not buy Twitter. It's very unlikely the court would have forced him to purchase Twitter, but they would make him pay the difference between the stock price now and the stock price that he offered to pay. So his options are spend $20 billion to get nothing or go through with the original deal. He decides, fuck it, we'll go through with the original deal. This is today. First of all, it means a huge headache for the banks that he was getting the debt from, because this is not all cash from him. He's taking out large loans from banks and putting the interest payments onto Twitter, which is going to doom Twitter from the beginning, I think, but we'll see. The banks are very unhappy because the economy is way worse now than when this deal was first announced and they agreed to give him the money. So now they really have to try and cough up this $12.5 billion that he needs, knowing they're probably not going to get their money back, knowing Twitter will probably fail and not pay its debt. So the banks are very unhappy. And that's the best part of this whole deal for me. If it goes through, Elon Musk will have lost money and big banks will have lost money, which is pretty awesome. That's actually kind of a dub for everybody involved. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but there is a theory that Elon Musk still might try to get out of this deal. Elon Musk basically knows that he is going to lose the court case on October 17th. Now, if he says, okay, fine, forget the court case, let's do the deal. If Twitter backs out of the court case now, Elon Musk could get a huge amount of time to basically reset the whole fucking process. It seems like Twitter is saying, thanks, we're happy to do it, we agree to it. That being said, we're moving forward with the court case in the meantime. Twitter immediately said they will not be pausing legal proceedings. They are moving forward with the October 17th court date and will be showing up unless this deal is signed, sealed, delivered, and paid for by that date. So Elon Musk is in a rock and a hard place, and it looks like he's going to have to buy Twitter for this amount, which means he's going to own Twitter. Now, what does that mean? His big idea thus far, which he's tweeted today as part of his rehabilitation campaign, is that buying Twitter is an accelerant to creating X, the everything app. I have no idea exactly what that means. Now, there are everything apps like WeChat in China that are extremely powerful. However, in the United States and in the West, it's a little different because all of the pieces of an everything app already have leading competitors that are going to kind of fight tooth and nail. In China, it was like this app did them all first. It's interesting. And you know what? Here's one thing I'll say, and I said this from the beginning. As much as I think Elon Musk has been a clown in these proceedings, I also think that Twitter has been extraordinarily mismanaged and can't really do worse. My take from the beginning, from my very first video on this, was that Twitter has been very badly managed, and they've wasted a lot of money and time doing nothing. Their stock has been flat to down for 10 years. And so theoretically, Elon Musk, who's a good salesman at the very least, and a good attractor of engineering talent, could maybe pivot this company in at least a direction where something is moving, something is changing. The big winner, it turns out, are Twitter shareholders. Twitter shareholders and the board, who are making kind of fat racks off this buyout. The big winner was this guy, Carl Icahn, who didn't need any more money. Look at this guy. This looks like a guy who needs more money. Rich old white guy. But this guy who knew from the beginning, like he just looked at the deal, he probably watched my earlier video, and he noted, he wasn't even a Twitter investor. He just noticed that, like, hey, it's pretty likely Elon's gonna have to pay this. So after the whole drama started, he just went in and bought $250 million of Twitter that are now being sold to Elon Musk for $54.20 a share. So everyone wave hi to Carl Icahn in chat, who basically saw that it was coming. And he's made a fat amount of money in a very short amount of time. This is like only a few weeks ago he bought it. One thing we can know for sure is that it's very likely that the GOAT of Twitter roasts is coming back. Donald Trump, despite saying that he would never leave Truth Social, is absolutely coming back to Twitter in an Elon Musk environment. Truth Social, by the way, also a massive disaster, bleeding money left and right, not paying its bills, and definitely soon to collapse. So the timing is quite appropriate for Trump to make his return to Twitter. That's where we're at, boys. It's the beginning of what I think is going to be a very interesting saga, and has already been one of the most hilarious, clownish fumblings in the world of business that I've ever seen.